Hey everybody, welcome to WCAX. We're starting a few minutes late today, but of course the day after the big day, Christmas, everybody has a lot of this stuff left over, some wrapping paper. So we just want to hop on and you talk to some people about what you can do with some of your leftover scraps and where to put that stuff.
Right. I was at CSWD last week talking to them about what to keep in mind the day after Christmas when you have all that wrapping and it's time to drop it off, but maybe you don't know exactly how to sort it. Some of the most common items that people get confused by are wrappers like this, wrapping paper, even like cutlery you could use, like plastic cutlery, and Christmas lights. Maybe your Christmas lights are worn out. So what they told me is that if you have a mail package like this, if it's pure, this is just plastic, and it says it on the side, right? Plastic bag, you can recycle this. If it's paper, recycle it. If it's a mix of plastic and paper, unless you're going to be meticulously separating them, I've tried, it's really tough, you probably have to toss that. And then when it comes to like wrapping paper, if it sparkles or it shines, that's a sign that you have to toss it. Any plastic cutlery you use, that also goes in the trash. And then Christmas lights, they do use those for the scrap metal. But you can't put them in your own recycling. Because if you put that in your recycling bin, you bring it to CSWD or whatever, that can actually mess with the whole recycling process. You have to drop it off in their metal scrap bin.
And I'm assuming they'll strip it and everything else like that. Gotcha. And then other thing in the house too, that's a lot of presents-wise, but is the Christmas tree. So a lot of people probably getting theirs, probably got theirs, like right after Thanksgiving. So the thing's been sitting just drying out for a couple weeks.
Hopefully they're watering it.
Yes. Don't be
if it's been drying out.
Yes.
You need to go throw that thing away right now.
Be a responsible tree owner. I will admit, last year got myself a tree, and it pretty much, I think I left it in my apartment until like late February. And it was just a hazard at that point. Everything was off of it, to be fair. I wasn't that bad of a tenant, but
how many times did you water it, John?
I was watering it, but then once I took the ornaments and the lights off, it kind of was just.
It was composting.
It was
in your living room.
That's right. It was composting. But that's definitely not the thing to do. But for people who have their trees now, next couple weeks, probably looking to get it out of it. Where are they going?
You can bring it to CSWD. They have drop-off sites. You just have to look up your local drop-off zone. And then if you want to go a step further, there are places like Pine Island Farm. That's a goat farm where the goats will actually eat the tree.
Did you do that last year? Someone did this. Someone did a story last year.
Someone was lucky enough to do it. Perhaps I'll go this year. But I've been when the goats were on the receiving end, just in my own time. And they're eating the trees, and it's awesome. So definitely lots of different options for where to bring your tree. But good to be keeping in mind, making sure you're watering it and doing those routine checks to see if it's dried out at all.
No, absolutely. And again, if you want to keep it in the living room for next couple weeks or so. I think some people even still put theirs up. Some people put their trees up on like Christmas Eve.
I know.
I didn't really know that.
Well, Lucy did that story about where you can go get your Christmas tree.
And that's what I mean. I was kind of surprised. I was like, it's good for business, but definitely keep a good eye on that, and you have some options. It's the gift that keeps on giving if you give to the goats too. So
exactly.
Anyway, all good things to keep in mind. Do you have a live Christmas tree? You have a fake one?
I have a live one. You think I'm a fake Christmas tree?
I had a fake one. I had a fake one from 1993. Parents, my dad was not a fan of a live one. He was very fire conscious, so.
He knows what's up. Although plastic trees can be a risk too. Because they're also a fire hazard, but they're not drying out like an actual tree.
Well, it's like metal branches, Anyway, be safe with Christmas trees, and sort accordingly for your scraps.
I feel like this is an important story to do with you, so you're aware.
Okay. Well, I'm reformed. I have a potted tree now that has the lights on it, and then I think in the spring I'll bring it home and I'll give it to my parents.
Exactly. You can grow it. Maybe you can have it for Christmas next year too. That could be your Christmas tree for life.
I'm not going to do that, but okay. Anyway, Sophia, thank you, and again, all just some good tips to follow there. Yeah.
Right on.
Cool. I think moving on now, we're gonna swap places and have meteorologist Jess Langlis come in, talk about Mount Mansfield. We're looking at that right now. Seeing some white caps or some white on the trees out there. So Jess, as far as today goes, it is kind of a cold start I didn't move my car for the majority of Christmas. I, came home. We had yesterday off in the morning show, so I feel like my car was just completely just frozen in my spot for the whole day. Yeah.
I saw a lot of cars like that.
Yeah.
I was out of town for the holiday, so I
Yeah.
actually got back about 9 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And then, but I saw a lot of cars that were still kind of frosted in, and anyone who, if you haven't gotten out there and chiseled off the car yet, it's definitely, you can probably test that, very frozen in at this point. Definitely cold out there this morning. And depending on where you're waking up this morning, too, a very different day. I mean, where we are in South Burlington, gloomy. You'd think, oh, it's a cloudy,
well, we had the cam
day
out, and it was just like a soup. You know what I mean? It was super hazy.
But it's so localized to the valleys of western Vermont, areas along Lake Champlain. A lot of us, depending on where you're watching from, it's a beautiful day out there. Not here, but for most of the area. And that's all these low clouds that are trapped in certain spots. And that's why I had the Mansfield cam up. And so...
Let me see. No.
Here we go.
This guy?
Yeah.
Try to just advance over. Here you go.
Here we go. Perfect. Yep. And that's actually what we're looking at. So we're on top of Mount Mansfield here, and it's facing west. So that tall point there is actually Whiteface in New York in the Adirondacks. And then that sort of white layer there, that's all the low clouds over Lake Champlain and Burlington, South Burlington. And that layer of clouds actually extends south all the way into Rutland County. And there's actually some snow showers falling within that. But look at how low to the ground that is compared to everything else. Outside of that, it's a beautiful morning, cold. But here are some of those spots. Burlington, we're looking at the clouds. Rutland, we've actually been seeing some snow showers. And then Linden, it's beautiful out right now. So here's kind of a look on the satellite. Now that we're getting some daylight, you can see better where that is. Really, Route 7 points west to the lake in Chittenden County. And then it extends into Addison County out to about Vermont 116 is where we're seeing those low clouds and even some snow showers. And then east of there, it's a beautiful morning. And likewise, we're seeing that down into Salisbury. But then Ripton, it's clear. Brandon, it's cloudy. Pittsfield is clear, and seeing that little tongue of cloud cover extending down into Pittsford, Rutland as well. But this should be clearing up into this afternoon. We have some low-level moisture trapped in the Adirondacks as well. But generally speaking, we have high pressure in place. Typically, we associate that with good weather, and that's what we're seeing overall, dry and quiet, aside from a few snow showers being generated from those clouds. But we will be seeing improving conditions. Notice that pool of colder air right over us, though, those purple, pink colors. That's the coldest air, but that is going to be moving out in favor of the warmer air that's to our west. In fact, that 42 in Chicago, that looks a lot like what we'll be seeing by about Sunday, temperature-wise. So here's that temperature forecast. Normal high for this time of year, 32. We'll be in the upper 20s today, tomorrow, so some chilly mornings.
Yeah.
Seasonably cool in the afternoon. Still need to bundle up if you're heading out for outdoor plans. With the good news, the roads should be good. But then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, look at that warm up, especially Monday, well into the 40s. But unfortunately, once those temperatures start going up, it also turns more unsettled, and that 47 on Monday comes with a good amount of rain. So I'll walk you through that. Any of those leftover clouds this morning should dissipate over the next few hours. If it's already sunny where you are, you'll see plenty of sunshine straight on through the day today. The areas that are seeing clouds, those should slowly start to erode as we get more daylight here. And then tonight, very similar to what we woke up to this morning, we'll see those low clouds redeveloping. In fact, some fog developing in some of those fog-prone river valleys, including eastern Vermont. And what I want to point out with this is 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, is because the temperatures will be so cold, any of that fog could freeze on contact. So if you're heading out tomorrow morning and you're driving through those spots that are fog prone, plan ahead to maybe take it a little slow. If you see fog tomorrow morning, just kind of assume that there might be a slick layer on the roads just to be safe. If there's not fog, you should be okay. And then that will give way to some high clouds tomorrow. But overall, aside from that, quiet next couple of days, no other rain, snow expected. It isn't until Saturday when we see our next batch of showers. They should be light, but given how cold the ground is, the air will be warming up. We could see some minor slick spots, freezing rain anywhere that happens. The bigger system, though, that comes through, I'm jumping ahead now, this is Sunday morning. Yeah. We see that system coming in Sunday into Monday. So it's the second half of the weekend that's looking soggier. At that point, temperatures will be solidly warm enough to support rain. The good news is, even though we're expecting some widespread kind of soaking rain out of this, it's not looking like we'll see any real flood concerns out of this. At this point, it's looking like an early estimate, maybe ½ inch to an inch. We'll see how this trends. Plus some snow melt, but given how cold it's been, it should take a little bit to start to get that snow melt going, but unfortunately kind of trending more spring-like. Now here's New Year's Eve. Still quite a ways out, so there's time for this to shift. Currently looks like daytime on New Year's Eve is okay, but we are keeping an eye on a system that could be impacting us by the time we're having New Year's Eve celebrations and ringing in the new year. This is when we ring in the new year.
Yeah.
And with that, temperatures kind of borderline. We could be seeing that valley rain, mountain snow mix. Obviously, this is still quite a few days out, but just something to keep an eye on, especially if you're planning to be out and about New Year's Eve and then trying to get back home after those celebrations into New Year's Day. That's still a ways out, though. Before we get there, we'll see sunshine in the areas that are clear this afternoon, emerging sunshine elsewhere, temperatures topping out in the mid to upper 20s for most of us. Tomorrow morning, one more cold morning, not quite as chilly as today, but still a lot of single digits to near about 10 degrees out there. Variable cloud cover depending on where you're at, and some patchy freezing fog to deal with. Tomorrow afternoon, partly cloudy. We'll see those high thin clouds, temperatures topping out in the 20s to near 30. Again, warming up Saturday. We'll have to watch those showers, maybe some patchy freezing rain. Sunday, we'll see that next system moving in, some rain into Monday. Tuesday, quiet during the day. We're tracking that next system that could bring that wintry mix late Tuesday into Wednesday. And believe it or not, we're wrapping up 2024. 2025 officially on the 7-day forecast here.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable. I also think that, rounding out the year, it's just such variable weather. Going from 27 and then going up to shooting up to almost 50.
Yes.
In just under a week's time here is just crazy.
And that really feels like a testament to how the entire year has gone. It really has felt like one extreme to the other. Wet summer, then dry fall. Then we had that big push of rain that came through a couple weeks ago there, and we were watching the rivers. Thankfully, we didn't really see much with flooding, but one extreme to the other, hot to cold.
And the funny thing is, too, and maybe this is just because it's the holidays, but I was talking to Peter last week about it, and it's just like it seems every single time we have Christmas, we had the commute a few days ago, and we're like, oh, man, it's, it might not be great in the roads, and then we're coming into New Year's. Again, I know it is a few days times out, too, and it's like, well, now we might have a little bit of rain on New Year's. It's like have some more weather on New Year's, and it's like, I don't know. But that's why we're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's tough to get all the holidays in without any travel hiccups either side of the holiday, just based off of, we live in an active weather area. So
and I think the beauty with especially with New Year's is a lot of times probably going to be inside.
Yeah.
But if you are out seeing some fireworks and all that, bundle up. Be all right. I think we know the drill.
Right. We're hardy. We're used to a little
bit
and that's
of
what
rain,
I mean.
Snow,
as long as it's not a blizzard or a deluge. But we'll keep our eye on it. It's early, but at this point, just kind of an early heads up that it's looking unsettled during that time frame. And if you have those outdoor plans already, like fireworks, keep an eye on it and adjust the plans accordingly as it gets closer.
Well, of course. Well, Jess is your girl for all things weather. Peter will be back too, so tune in for that. And then, of course, you can see Jess and I again, Channel 3 News at noon, all of our evening shows, of course, and all of our content on WCAX.com. Until then, I don't know. Enjoy cleaning up after Christmas and recycle the trees. Have a good one.